Hi. What is chaos, you say? Chaos is when mom's breakfast turns into an ass whooping, and you thought it'd be over easy. Chaos is also when you order vanilla ice cream, and it's not vanilla. It's vanilla bean. This podcast is no different. We embrace chaos. We live chaos. We are chaos, emperors of it. Get used to it, because the flip-flop of life will not spare you from the tramplings of the unexpected. Now raise your glass and sip your sweet, sugary drink. But don't expect sugar. You might be wrong.
Alright, welcome back to Primal Primos. I'm your host, or I should say, we are your host with the most. First, Jeremy, ow! Oh, damn! And Armando Corral. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Primal Primos. Salud, senor, salud. I think it is recording. It should be recording, right? Yeah, it's recording, right?
Say something sexy in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Flowers. Flowers.
Flowers, flowers, flowers.
The petal, the petal, the petal. The stem, the stem, the stem. The petal, the petal, the petal.
Say something about women.
The petals of the woman, they fall to the ground. These bitches fall to the ground.
Say something about toes.
Toes? Ooh, toes. They got a little crease on them. They got some little hair on them. They're a little harder than fingertips.
Now let's be universal up in this shit. Say something about eyes.
The eyes are the key to the soul. To her soul.
Amen!
That's the only way you can find her, and you'll find love.
Jesus!
So why don't you come with us in this journey and see what love is all about?
Now let's say something not too universal. What about if they got big old nose holes?
Big old nose holes? Well, you can fit whatever you want in that nose hole. And I'm not talking about fudgesticles, lollipops, drumsticks. I'm talking about dick. What?
Now, with that said, let's start the beginning of the podcast. Welcome back to Primal Primos.
This thing is hot.
It's been a minute, but we love you.
Minute.
We love ourselves. We want to talk. So let's get right in.
Get right into it. Well,
Pull up my shirt.
pull up your chair right here. Pull up your fucking chair. Hold on to your horses, because there's a lot of things that has happened since we last met.
You know, it's almost too much time, and I don't even know when the last time we made another one is.
Well, that's...
But I was going to tell you, we should talk about the month of May. Or,
the month of May.
yes.
May. Ooh, May. I mean, it's already... Is this the last day of May?
I kind of don't even want to mention the month. Let's just bleep that out.
Oh, well, you...
I want to mention this month.
We're still... Yeah, we're still...
Because it's almost the end
of
this month.
Of this month, yeah.
So let's talk about this month. What do you remember?
It went by so fast.
If you
This month.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of like a blur.
It went...
Like. It was more like... It went in a straight line. Like in a roller coaster, it just went straight and really fast.
Yeah.
It didn't go up and down. Not like that. It just went straight.
Yeah.
And it went really fast. So I couldn't really... Maybe I haven't taken it all in just yet. That's
I don't
why.
think I have either.
That's why. Because it just went super fast and it didn't have any ups and downs. And it was sort of neutral, I would say. Neutral.
Now I want to get selfish up in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about my birthday.
This motherfucker.
In the month of May.
It was
Oh,
your birthday.
shit. In this month, the beginning of this month.
The beginning of the month, it was his birthday.
In the first of this month,
Awesome.
I thought, holy shit, it's going to be my birthday.
It's gonna be... It's that song, if you guys know.
It's going to be...
It's gonna be... It's gonna be...
It's going to be...
It's gonna be...
It's going to be that time of the month.
With Justin Timberlake.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we gave you a lot of hints, so you guys should know.
just don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, it was your birthday.
It was my birthday,
in
but
the beginning of the month. So
let me talk about this.
How was your?
Let me talk about this. It was that feeling you get when it's about to be your birthday, and I'm hitting my mid-20s.
Okay. I thought you were your late 20s. Oh, never mind.
He be always making this joke that's not really funny at all, but it takes a jab right into my soul. It crushes me, and he knows that shit.
Oh, he's good.
So he ain't gonna let it go.
He's young. He's young at heart, I guess. There you go. That's all that matters. You're young at heart.
What are you talking about? I'm still young.
If you say so.
Okay.
Senior.
So here's a weird thing. I'm 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this.
How does it feel saying it? How does it feel? I'm 24.
It feels weird. And let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just pretend for a second that I'm dating an 18-year-old, right?
Mm.
Now this is
it's legal.
It's
Nothing
legal.
bad.
But I never thought I would be 6 years apart from an 18-year-old.
6 years?
Right?
A little more than half a decade, yeah.
Yeah. So, now if I have a one-on-one with this 18-year-old, and I find her attractive, I find her my love, you know, I ain't gonna let age change anything. But once I start hanging out with her 18-year-old friends, that's when it gets weird.
Well, that's when it gets really weird.
Yes. Now imagine she invited me to an 18-year-old party. I'm going to feel like the big brother. I'm going to have to set boundaries. Right? Now the center of that boundary is, I ain't trying to come off like a pedophile.
You're still young.
I know, but that's the core of that boundary, and then the edges of that boundary is, it's uncomfortable, it's weird. These kids ain't mature. They just turned 18. Some of them maybe 17. Some of them maybe 19.
Well, they also grew up in a different era or different time. Like you can't really relate to them in a way sometimes.
Right. So let's just say the center of that boundary is obviously that pedophile factor. Like it's the center of the earth. It's like molten lava. You don't want to touch it. Not to say pedophiles are the center of the universe, but you know what I mean. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be dating that girl.
Well, what if that girl is everything you looked for and everything you probably need?
But it only takes, if you think about it, it only takes a meme to ruin your life. If you went to one of those 18-year-old parties with her, somebody took a picture of you talking to this person, and maybe you're trying to say ha ha ha, maybe you're joking, you try to like touch somebody's arm, but then you accidentally touch their boob. They snap that photo, throw some words on it, it goes on Twitter. Hold up.
Well, hopefully you don't look that older from them. I mean, you still could pass as a college freshman, you know what I mean?
But what if that shit haunts me when I'm famous and shit?
Famous? Well...
And then they come back and throw it back at me. Hold up. Hear me out. Mid-20s. You pedo motherfucker.
No, I'd be like, it was legal, bitch.
I'm just saying there are dangers. There are dangers to the dating life in 2018. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Because everybody's all like, you're too young for you. They're not mature. Well, what if they are mature? They have a free will. They have a choice to be with you. That comes back.
So you think they have a personal responsibility, even though they just entered the age of adulthood? But it still stands. The people around her, her friends, are all babies. And the person you fell in love with may not seem like one, but the people around her, inevitably, it's just math. They're babies. So I feel like if I dated an 18-year-old, I would dread those moments and just be waiting for it to end. You know what I mean? Would you ever date an 18-year-old?
Wow. I'm like 10 years younger than Jeremy is, so then it's a different story. No,
Now
it's like...
we can lie to you on the podcast because y'all don't know about our personal lives. But let me tell you, he my age.
Yo, you're younger.
I'm gonna throw up your passport. It's gonna be the cover photo of this podcast episode.
So everybody knows where I was born.
Yeah.
I would. I am getting older. We are getting older, so it does seem weird at this point. Maybe if you were to ask me, like, even a year ago, maybe I probably would be like, oh, yeah. But now I'm like, okay, wait, let me think about it. Let me get back to you. It's like you text me, would you date an 18-year-old? And I'm like, let me go get coffee. I don't drink coffee, but let me go get coffee. Let me go do these things I don't do, and get back to you later, right?
What do you mean by do the things I don't do?
Basically trying to avoid it. The question.
Okay, so your version of let me get back to you is let me not get back to you.
Let me not get back to you.
Right now.
Maybe, yeah.
And not even text you back.
Yeah. And then maybe the next day be like, about that.
That's what you did to me this morning, huh?
No.
I messaged you at 12 and you was like 1 hour, 2 hours later.
Nah, get the fuck out.
Nah.
I was eating.
I'm on my way.
It's because I woke up late and I started eating. I'm like, I'm gonna text you right after I eat. So I eat some eggs and all that.
What about a 19-year-old?
That does make a difference.
Does it?
For sure. I feel like at 18 you're now legal for sure.
How old are you?
Are you talking to me or?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 20 years old, but 21.
So you're saying you're mature. Well, no, you're saying you're immature.
You say
for saying you think you're 20, and when you say you're 21, you're saying you're lying because you're not.
20-year-olds don't have to be immature. They could be mature.
But if you feel like you're younger than you are,
I just feel that I'm stronger, maybe more faster. Or
why are you like thrusting?
I'm not thrusting. I'm just moving my hips.
Oh,
Very viciously. Would you call that thrusting?
yeah.
Back and forth? You move your hips?
Viciously, and there's no
Like-
music going on? I would say
Like
that's
horizontally, if you move your hips back and forth? Is that
thrust.
thrusting? What is...
I think so. I'm not quite sure what you mean by horizontally.
I feel like if it's horizontal, it'll be like this.
Oh.
The vertical will be up and down.
But it could also be left and right.
Well, it'll be like that. And that'll be salsa dancing.
That would be called grinding.
Well, it's like, if you do horizontally, vertically, that's all grinding and shit. Well, actually, how would you describe thrusting?
I don't know if my chair would appreciate you doing that for a long period of time.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna do whatever I want with this chair. Please. Farted on it.
Can you, I'm glad you're wearing jeans. As long as you ain't be wearing them spats you sometimes wear.
The spats?
Yeah.
What's spat?
You know what spats are?
Spats?
Spats are like man leggings.
Oh.
That shit thin. Don't wear that and sit on my chair and do a little booty dance.
I have
whatever you want to call it.
one
Kids
pair.
these days want to call it.
It's called bumping and grinding. Bumping and grinding.
So would you bump and grind on a 19-year-old?
Yes, I would. So confidently, I would say it. Yes.
You would?
Why not? I mean, they already passed that age, 18, and it's 19.
You know what I just remembered? And this is the
It's hella dusty. Look at this shit. God damn. I'm like,
dude, don't talk about my house.
I'm wearing one of his
podcast.
necklaces, and he never cleaned this necklace, and I'm like touching it. It's hella dusty.
Dude, we want to create this fabrication of wealth and confidence and professionalism on the podcast.
Nice.
There's nothing. It's spot clean.
Spot
in my
clean.
house.
Oh, it's very spot clean. It's like
Dude, you see this pulperindo? Let me read.
got the finest pulperindo in the world, aged and fermented for years.
Yeah,
and he
I
has
think
it in
it
glass
is.
case. He has it in the China case right there. So
Actually,
very nice
it
room.
was on the floor, but
Oh, okay, never mind. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the perfect segue. Remember in the last podcast. Remember in the last podcast,
Yeah.
you were trying to confess to this girl
Mm-hmm.
who was 19 years old.
I was trying to confess. Oh my god! Oh,
I don't think the story concluded. Let's
yes,
be
we
snappy
did
with
not.
this. Let's be snappy with
That'll
this.
get even more different with this. But yeah, the story of the girl that I was trying to get at from last time. It did not go well. It did not go as planned for sure.
Hold on, you didn't even let me get a drum roll.
All right. What? How are we gonna
1,
start?
2, 3.
The photo class. That's what it's called. Story.
You're supposed to say it did not go well.
It did not go. Oh,
Well, that
that
didn't
was-
go well.
it didn't go well either. Well, yeah, it didn't go well. Didn't go as planned. Long story short, for all purposes, she had a boyfriend. And I was being a punk, trying to confront her about it, tell her that how I truly felt about her. But I think it might have been too late, maybe, or maybe she did really have a boyfriend at that time.
And so there was this thing I told him to do, which was take a photo of himself every time he pussied out.
How many times did I pussy out? Only a couple.
You pussied out maybe like at least 3 times that I can remember.
At least 3, maybe.
At least 3 times.
So it's like 1 out. That's
you
3
said
strikes,
you were
1
going
out.
to. You said you were going to confess, but you didn't.
Well, there was also, it's very hard, trust me, trying to ask her this, because she would dip out of the room real quick after class, or even then, even if I talked to her in class, it was very hard, because it seemed like she was super shy. Well, she is a super shy girl, so it'd be so hard for her to even, like, conversate or have a conversation with her. But maybe that was part of it, because she had a boyfriend. Maybe she didn't want to lead me on as much. Maybe. Well, I don't know.
So could you describe the moment in great detail where you
I went up to her.
so beautifully and romantically chased after her?
So thank you.
You're welcome.
It was beautiful. It has a horrible ending, but it was beautiful in the process. I guess one day it was the day that I decided I should really just go up to her and stop being a little punk.
I'll blow my nose.
Blow your nose, senor. And I decided I should do it. I waited too long. It was almost like mid-semester. I didn't pull a move, so I'm like, okay, let me decide to pull a move this time. It was, let me start it out from the beginning of the day. I guess before class, I noticed that she came in with another dude. And this is the first time she came in with another dude in the class. I'm like, maybe it's the friend, maybe. Or maybe it's the boyfriend. And that's when I freaked out. I'm like, oh, fucking shit.
Was he good looking?
He was alright. Was he better looking than me? I don't know. That's debatable. You were shorter? Shit.
I hear the jealousy, guys.
Nah, motherfucker. Hey, yo, bitch. You're supposed to be a my side, bitch.
He does this thing where his upper lip shrinks. He gets skinny. Yeah, when he gets a little jealous and pissed.
So
at
I got the
somebody,
Kylie Jenner lips. It doesn't go up.
it
goes down now?
Squash that shit real tight.
Real tight.
Like
How
you
tight?
don't want to say "fuck that nigga"
But, oh.
in his
That's
mind.
my hype man. The hype man right there. But I called up the boy, J.L., to see what I should do in the situation.
That's me.
That's the boy. I asked him what I should do. I called him up right before class. I'm like, I saw this dude walk in with her right before class. I guess she was like developing photos for this photo class. And I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking it might be just a friend, but he was still there. He was waiting for her. Maybe it's the boyfriend. And Jay always told me just do it. No matter what it's waited too long. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you fucking French kissed her right there. It doesn't matter. Waited too long. We're still gonna ask. If She wants to go out on a date with me. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if they fucked in that class right there in front of me. It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna ask her. No matter. I'm still gonna fucking ask her. It don't matter if she has a ring in her hand and she's telling me she's married right before class. I'm gonna still ask her if she wants to go on a date with me. So yeah, I waited towards the end of class, and we had a critique that day, so we were looking at photos, and you could kind of tell like she was ready to leave, and she was getting her stuff ready. She was putting her stuff in her backpack, and I was still like really engaged in the critique. I was still talking. I was next to like a couple of friends, and I noticed she was putting her stuff away, and she was gonna leave. I'm like, oh fuck, she's already dipping. She's already, I guess, halfway across the hallway outside. She's already leaving the building. So I'm like, fuck, I have to leave. I gotta do it right now, or it's never, you know. So I packed up my shit real quick. I didn't say bye to my friends, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna fucking leave. I'm gonna go check out where she's at. And I saw her. She was, I think, I would say like a block away from the building. It, like, if you were to like measure it, I don't know how long a block is in distance, but I ran up to her, and I called out her name because I was kind of far away from her. This was outside. I'm like, "Ayo!" You can bleep out the name maybe. Nelly. She turns around kind of slowly, but she kind of looks like she was kind of sad to turn around. Like she didn't wanna. She was like waiting for it. She knew that I was gonna go up to her and ask her.
So in the scene, I kind of see like a close up of Nelly, and then to see her expression and you in the distance, and she kind of like turning and being like, oh.
Yeah, she's kind of like, oh. What? Yeah, kind of like she's kind of sighing like, oh. So I went up to her. She stopped in her tracks because she was kind of walking fast. So I went up to her, ran up to her. I'm like, hey, Nelly. I'm like, damn, you were a fast runner. Fuck, you a star? Like, you a track star in high school? What the fuck? God damn, you're running hella fast. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you, Nelly, that I think you're really cute. It's very hard for me to tell this because every time I try to tell you this, you're either out of the classroom or you book it. I don't know, so I never see you. But I think you're really cute, and I was wondering if you want to go out sometime. And she's like, oh, I don't understand, or something like that. I'm like, all right, like I want to go out with you on the date. I want to go on a date with you. And then this was when she was just like, she turned around a little bit, and she turned back at me, and she was kind of, it felt like she didn't want to say it, and she said, she's like, oh, well, I have a boyfriend. And that's when I was like, ah. Everything fell down. I saw everything fall. The buildings fall around me. The sky fell down. My dick fell down.
It was like you had a boner, and
I went.
It shrinked, and it just gravity took over.
She was like, "Well, we could still be friends." Like she was like, "I didn't want to lead you on or anything, but yeah, we could still be friends." Like, I hope it isn't awkward in class or anything. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not gonna be awkward. And I freaking like choked a little bit. Like, it's not gonna be awkward. Yeah.
Like you kind of like.
It's not gonna.
Yeah.
Awkward. Yeah. It's not gonna be awkward. Yeah. All right. It's all good. I was just kind of sad too. I was just like, fuck, bitch. I was like, I wanted to say that at the moment, but like, no, I gotta control my anger, everything. I'm like, no, it's all good. I'm like, thank you for telling me at least. I told her, thank you for telling me at least. And I'm like, okay, have a nice spring break. This is before the spring break, I think, right? I think so. It was like, midterms. The mid of the semester, I guess. But, yeah, I'm like, I'll see you then. I'll see you in next class. So good thing I told her before the spring break, so I don't have to see her the whole spring break. But, yeah, you know. I just went back to my car, and that was like the longest walk ever back to my car.
I'm proud of you, my brother. This is part of life. Failure. And I think it's one of the harmless failures of life is getting rejected by a girl, because you learn to be assertive, and you learn how to take failure without losing money, without losing your reputation. So, good shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was before that, I got her number too, and I told her that I wanted to go to a museum with her, and she was okay with it. So maybe like imagine if I would have gone to the museum with her, and thinking that she was single, but she had a boyfriend, and if I pulled a move in that museum date or whatever, she'd be like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," or
ooh, your eyes lit up.
Did it lit up?
Yeah.
They lit up like 4th of July.
Yeah, they doubled in size.
Oh damn! Well, I was just saying, or if we were in the museum, we were both there, looking at artwork. I mean, eventually, maybe our hands will touch.
Maybe you'll look at her like a piece of art.
Oh, in a way, she's already is a piece of artwork.
Yeah, kind of like you can't touch it.
I can't touch that artwork. It was too expensive for me. Maybe that artwork. Maybe it wasn't my time to own that piece of artwork. It wasn't mine. I can't touch it.
Don't be saying words like "oh" now. People are gonna come after you.
Oh no. But
you can say whatever the fuck you want on this podcast.
Shit. Well, sorry. Yeah, we could say whatever the fuck we want to say, but imagine if I did go on a museum date with her. Maybe something would have gone down. Maybe there would have been a little kiss. I don't know. I'm just saying. I would have spent some money, and then I would have found out, and she probably would have rejected me, maybe. But good thing she told me at least she had a boyfriend, that she didn't want anything from me. Well, she didn't say that she didn't want anything from me, but yeah.
So you guys are like 3 years apart. It's not that much.
Nelly was, I don't think I've ever asked her for her age, but she was what? She's a sophomore, so I'm guessing she's
I think she's 19.
19 at least, 19 for sure.
You're 23. So.
22.
Oh, you're 22.
22. I'm gonna be 23 later on. Motherfucking not yet. I'm still young and you're 2 years.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she's still 19, so it's not bad. It's not a bad age yet. And I was telling a couple of friends, Jay and DB. You know what I'm talking about? I told them during the lunch break or whatever. I was like,
who's Jay?
Jay, Latina, Jay, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. You could probably bleep them out. But anyways, I told them during the lunch break in the Friday class, I was like, yeah, I'm talking to this one girl, whatever. She's, I got her number and all that. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. Like, do we know her? And she's like, nah. And she's like, what is she, like a senior, junior? They're asking me that. I'm like, nah, well, she's maybe a junior, sophomore. She's like, they're like, you're trying to date a sophomore or some shit like that? I'm like, what's wrong with that? Like, I don't know. They're just like, you better not be dating a sophomore. I'm like, no, she's a junior. I kind of faked that. I didn't want to tell them it was a sophomore, but it was a sophomore. But I was like, yes, no, I'm just playing with you guys. This is a junior. They're like, oh,
see,
okay.
that's the other part of the barrier. That's like, I think it's closer. It's not the center of the barrier, but let's just say it's like the Earth, right? It's like the next layer next to the center is like your friends and whoever the fuck else you care about that will judge you for dating a young girl.
That's true.
It does bother. I feel like it would be a factor when you date a young person. Like, people be looking at you, I think, with different eyes.
Yeah.
Like judgy eyes.
Maybe it's more,
You probably shave more often, I feel like, if you're dating a young girl.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you're self-conscious.
Just to make yourself look younger. Maybe trim your pubes a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, if that's the kind of life you live, you show your pubes.
If you go to
everywhere.
like a nudist beach and you're hanging out with her, they're gonna be thinking, "Oh, this guy's fucking hairy everywhere. He's He's way older than that girl. That girl barely has any pubes down there."
You might even be wearing hats to hide your hairline. Like, you don't want to show that shit. Hairline is very important when guessing somebody's age. It's the highest factor.
Oh yeah. Nowadays, for sure.
Sometimes I look at I'm like, this little girl, I think it's a little girl for her hairline. She might just be a midget with good skin. I don't know.
A midget with good skin? What do you?
Yeah.
You really got their hairline?
Yeah.
What would you say? Well, a girl's hairline doesn't really change as much during.
It depends how bad it is, but in general, I think you're correct.
Because, yeah, guys' hairline for sure recedes more than women. Women's, they have it for a while.
Well, some girls have big-ass foreheads. But that's all.
That's just naturally.
We just say big foreheads. You never say a girl has a receding hairline.
Yeah, because they really don't get it as often as.
What happened to equality
guys.
there? What happened to double standards there?
Out the window?
Let's move on.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's the story. Oh, bleep.
I was just
I got this list. Hold on.
trying to figure out, like, when do girls get pubic hair? That's the thing. Because I remember back in high school about the girl I told you about, when I kind of ditched I could buy the Xbox 360 instead. I remember I was talking to her and I made this joke about like some like pubic hair or whatever. I'm like, oh, I got hella hair or something like that, and other parts of my body or something like that. And at one point I asked her, I think, about the pubic hair or something like that, and she said, no, it's clean down there or something like that. And I'm like, clean? And this was like, she was like a sophomore, I remember. She's like, clean? She's
in
like,
high school?
Yeah, she's like, do you not have any hair? She's like, no, I don't have any hair. Like, and I think I told her, do you have any hair at all? She's like, no. So I'm like, oh, damn. Do girls, are they later in the stage? Do they get their pubes later in the stage? Because you never had pubic hair. Or maybe that's just her. She never had pubic hair as a sophomore in high school.
Was she Latina?
Mm-hmm.
No, that sounds like a lie.
You think so?
Yeah.
She said she never.
How did she have thick eyebrows?
Kind of, a little bit. No, not thick. They're kind of thin. So maybe she did the genetics for her. It wasn't strong.
Usually those are the indicator, I think.
Oh yeah.
If she got thick eyebrows, she got thick pubes.
That's why I usually, in the streets when I usually see a girl, I'm like, damn, she has some thick eyebrows. I'm like, damn, imagine. Or if I see if they're with their dad or whatever, I'm like, damn, the dad's really hairy. Imagine her pussy would be fucking hairy. So I'm like thinking.
All right, I got podcast rules for you, just to make things easier for the edit.
Don't yelling
You're laughing. Pull it back. Pull back, okay?
Oh, we need the sound level mixer.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
Sound level mixer on. Yeah.
Now, but for regular talking, yeah, you could be close. But like, if you feel like you're hella about to laugh,
Dude, she was sorry.
do the pullback, bro.
Or we'll bleep out the yells. Beep. But yeah, that's my initial thought of that.
The good shit for that. Let's see, what else happened in this month?
But that wasn't. I mean, that's not. That didn't happen this month.
No, yeah, I just wanted to do a quick recap because
I don't think we didn't.
We talked about it in the last podcast. We owe it to you. The end of that story.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, there's so much shit that happened.
Beginning of the semester was May, and then May. I guess that was like the push. Everybody was like towards finals. Everybody was just like pushing to get work done. Everything.
Yeah. You want to just talk about graduation?
Well, I graduated.
Yeah.
SFSU.
2018.
2018. Represent. Art studio art. Gotta represent. I mean, graduation was like, it was kind of surreal. It was just like, damn. I didn't think I would get to this point. You know what I mean? It was just like, I thought it would take me forever to get to this point. But I'm like, I'm here. We got here. I'm like, shit.
Your mom didn't believe you would make it to this point.
Didn't believe I was gonna make it.
She told me, she was like, "You're so lazy. I didn't think it was gonna happen." You know?
Damn, she talking shit. No, but yeah, she didn't believe it either. She's like, oh damn. But it was a weird journey for reals. Throughout freshman year till senior year, I guess.
What does the graduation signify for you?
Really, I mean, it just signifies like kind of what I went through the whole college experience, like what I've learned, what I've taken from it, the friends I made, enemies, and I don't think I made enemies. I'll probably some girls, but it signifies like new.
You don't want to fuck me? Fuck you.
Fuck you, little bitch. Or the girl that the flings, you know. But it just signifies like what this next chapter. Like, okay, we went through this phase, this college phase, what we learned, there's new skills that I learned too. Like, I've taken classes that I never thought I was gonna take, like video editing classes, cinema classes, different types of arts. I like mediums like photography, textile, everything. I incorporated into one thing that I like, and it kind of is. It makes sense, I guess, to have graduated around this time too. I'm still for sure like, it's not clear what I'm gonna do forever for the rest of my life, but I have a kind of a good picture, I guess, to see what I could do. You know.
Are you scared about life coming forward?
A little bit. I'm like, damn.
I mean,
I'm not getting younger for sure. So I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, because you're saying graduation is a symbol of the time you had in this period in your life, but it's also a symbol of adulthood and the end of a step, you could say, and the start to another.
Like, I also don't want to be like tied down with like people like have this degree or whatever in business, art, whatever it is. They're like, oh, what you gonna do with that degree? I'm like, what if I don't want to do something with that degree? I don't have to do something with that degree. I mean, I have this expertise or whatever, this degree or whatever. I could go somewhere else. I don't have to stay in this route. I mean, I could still have it there, but it doesn't have to be so confined in there, in that space. Like, because that's the question I like always get asked. I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do with that degree? What are you gonna do after college or whatever? And if I give them a different response, they're like, oh, then why did you study this and all that? I'm like, well, this is not at this moment. I just want to do this at the time. It doesn't mean that I don't want to do art for sure. Like, I love art, but at this moment, I just want to work on this, on that. It's different projects basically. But if it's not a project related to a freaking art or whatever, they'll be like, what? Then why?
So it sounds to me like you're letting a lot of people get to your head because you're responding to their expectations and wanting to defy them.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, because they're expecting you to like do the things.
But don't you think that that's letting them dictate your actions and your thoughts?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to dictate those thoughts.
But you are by wanting to defy them. You should just do what you want to do, regardless of what people have to say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I want to do what I want to do. Whatever at that moment that I like to do, I'll do it, and I'll do it 100%. But then there's people who get mad because you do that. I'm like, or not mad. They're just like question it, like, why are you doing that?
But don't you think some of those people just like really care about you, and like
get that, yeah.
They want to know like if you're gonna succeed, or they want to see if you've made good decisions for yourself. Let me tell you. Let me tell you the story. It's so weird because yesterday at work there's this drunk lady.
Oh, okay.
And
a white drunk lady?
Yeah, a white drunk lady.
Of course. Old.
And she was in her early 30s. She was really
early
drunk.
30s, of course. Of course it has to be the early 30s.
Yeah, she was holding her drink and it was like, and she, in the beginning, she asked for a drink. It was white wine, but she also asked for a meal. We were hesitant to give her one, but she ordered a meal, so we just gave her a little bit.
Gave her a little bit.
So,
pull her down.
Yeah, so she was, drunk people are very talkative. And she was a very interesting character. But she also said some questionable, but, it contributed to the conversation because, whenever you meet someone interesting at work, you appreciate it because, you're working. You don't want everything to be the same thing. She said certain things like, she went on a date with, is his name Derek Jeter or something?
Oh, the New York Yankees?
Yeah. Dude. She said that.
She swears she went on a date with.
She said she knows Quentin Tarantino. She said she's her friend or whatever.
Hold the fuck up. Hold your horses. Do you believe that or do you? Does she look rich? Does she look...
And, she says she works at to what do you call it?
This thing's goddamn hot.
Engineering firms.
Mm-hmm.
But she was wasted. She was super wasted. But during the time, she took some time to talk to me about herself.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of that, she asked me, "What is it that I want to do, or what am I doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, I'm at school, and I'm still in college." She said, "Oh, you're still in college?" And the way she talks is really funny because
How does she talk?
She always says like she looks straight at you like, and she has green eyes, and she's kind of pretty.
She's kind of cute.
I feel like she would definitely be really pretty when she was in her 20s.
Oh, okay. Oh, she was like.
But I still have to see her sober. That's the thing.
She was like kind of cross-eyed.
Yeah,
looking at you
she
up.
was fucking drunk. So
Look at my fingers. One,
yeah,
two.
yeah. But you know, I had to pour her like the sauce or whatever because I was scared she was gonna drop shit. But she would always say to be honest, or like she would always like do the
praying a little bit, like do like a crucifix or like a little.
Yeah, what do you call that when you the Father, Son, Holy Spirit? She would
the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit.
Whenever she would say something sincere, she would do that.
Why should do that?
There were certain things she would say and do.
Fuck as much as you can right now. Oh, sorry, God. Sorry, Father. Sorry, Father.
No. But she asked me what I want to do, and I said I want to do fine arts. And she's like, fine arts?
She did it like that.
Yeah, like so far she's been very like respectful and like very.
And then when she said fine arts, motherfucker.
And I said, well, I want to do a film. I want to make movies. And she's like, you want to live that lifestyle? She was like,
what do you mean? Like, what do you? Why say like that?
And then she said, that's a very hard field, and these are all things that I know that she said.
Yeah.
But she's speaking to me and channeling an energy of an older sister, you could say, or even a mother. And she was looking at me like, do you really have what it takes? Do you think you're Quentin Tarantino? She says, I know Tarantino. She's just throwing some random shit like that. And then she would say, it's a hard lifestyle. I mean, are you ready to throw everything away? And she's like, do you really love it that much? And then she said, sometimes you don't have to make your passion your job. She said, you might destroy your passion that way. And then she said, are you going to live with your mom? That's probably a good idea to live with your mom if you're going to be a filmmaker. And I think she was kind of challenging me in that aspect. And then she said, if you really want to do what your passion,
you love your passion
for, then you'll have to sacrifice a lot of things. And, you have to go out there. You have to leave your bird's nest, so to speak. Like basically, like, live on my own and all that.
Yeah.
And when you do that, like how I did, she's saying, to be perfectly honest with you, she'll say, then you have to leave your bird's nest, and that's really what your mom wants you to do without having to come back. So when times get tough,
you can't go.
Don't be crying back to your fucking mom.
That's what you said?
Yeah, with dead ass eye contact.
Oh damn! Like, don't look at me like that.
Yeah, and I had like, I know what she's saying, and I agree with her, but like, I had my eyebrow like right above it, like I was kind of like twitching.
It was twitching a little bit.
It was twitching a little bit because what I knew was true was spoken to somebody that sincerely understood the same thing. And so, I tell myself this from time to time, but not so strongly. But she was telling me like, yeah, you can't. When times get tough, you can't be. When you're out there, you can't be coming back to your fucking mom. You need to figure out where you're gonna stay. You need to figure out what you're gonna do, and you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things. You know, not everybody can make it, and you know, sustain yourself. And that's what your mom's gonna want you to do, even though they may not say it. They want you to be strong enough to take care of yourself. And so this drunk lady, you know, at the end of this, she like gave me her number or whatever. She's like, I don't really do this, but you're like my younger brother or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll take your number down.
It's kind of like a DB's friend. Remember? When she was drunk.
Yeah.
She was telling me, "Oh, you seem like you're so you seem like you'll fit the job or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're that type of guy or whatever. We need you. Like you're."
She was big sister talking to me.
Yeah.
But I could tell she was, you know, she was very cocky in a sense. Like she would say, "I'm a smart woman," and she would say like, "I'm beautiful," and she would say certain things.
First of all, you're drunk midday.
Yeah, and she's like, "I make money," and like there are certain aspects of her where she felt like she had to say those things, but there were other things where I felt like were valuable to me, and I think she could feel that, you know, I wasn't stuck up or stubborn or somebody who was not willing to listen, so she took the time and energy. I don't know. It's probably because she was fucking drunk to tell me those things, and I said, well, thank you for the intervention.
Did you really say that, sir?
Yeah, and thank you. It was an experience. It was a conversation I take value in, and then I gave her water, and then she said, "I'm not drunk."
Well, no one said you were drunk. I was pouring you water because I have to pour you water. Yeah. Wow. That means you are fucking drunk if you have to say that.
Yeah. You know, it was funny. There were some questionable things, like she said, like, I changed the channel into the sports channel, and she was like, "Thank you. I didn't really like that show. I never watched it." And then I was like, "Oh, do you like watching sports?" She's like, I did UFC. I did boxing.
I did UFC. Like I did.
Yeah.
I did
and then she's like, I blew out my arm doing boxing, and she would like show me her form. She would be like, fucking like shaking her shoulders really bad. And, and I told her, I said, you were probably going too hard. And she was like, that's the smartest thing you told me this whole time.
Wow. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, you lady? Get the fuck out of here.
But she was an interesting lady, but I think if I took the good from the conversation, I would definitely rate this a valuable conversation, because it made me rethink, like, I need to be crazy for what I want to do, and I can't be lazy, you know, like, because she was telling me, she was like, I don't know, I still don't know if I believe this, Tarantino, my friend, whatever.
Tarantino.
But she was saying nobody knew Tarantino for like 10 years, for so many years, and you know, before that, he was a wreck.
Yeah, when did he become big? I mean, he's older. He was older when he became big, right? He was like, what, 30? Late 30s when he became big?
Yeah.
Mid 30s?
So part of why I would argue why your friends or your families will question you, like, what are you going to do with your art degree, or why are you going to do this? What are you doing right now, and versus, you know, what your degree versus what you're doing right now, is because if you are picky choosy in what you do, how do you know you're going to succeed in any one thing? My response to that would be, the world works. This is probably a lot of the young people would say the world works a lot differently than it used to. Well, especially the movie industry, there was only that one way, that one pathway, and there was, you know, just fucking make a good film and like submit it to festivals, and you know, just hack at it. now people have YouTube. Now
It's
people
harder,
can
yeah.
now people can make films and other shit at the same time. But that also means you need to be a good manager. That also means you need to be a good, there are so many positions, because if you're a leader of your own company, then you need to be good at managing. You be good with your money.
Mm-hmm.
You're handling 5 different jobs, if not more. So I guess the argument still stands. Like, how the fuck are we gonna get there? Like, if we have no focus,
Mm-hmm.
it's But I like to think that some people make it out to be harder than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that people complain a lot, and that becomes a barrier for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit hard. Like, it's been this amount of time. How come it's not happening? I like to think, like, having a center and staying grounded and, like, just continue to keep doing what you're doing is something that most people, I don't want to say most people don't have, but a lot of people don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I say, at least for the younger people, they should make money on the side for sure. And be stable too with the money financially. And have something on the side. Have what you want to do on the side. Say whatever it is, like art or make movies or whatever you like to do on the side. Or if that thing that you like to do on the side is making you money, I think that's even better. But yeah, I would say do something that you like to do, but then also be like financially stable and also be mentally stable. You know what I mean? You want to also have fun through this like journey. You don't want to be doing it just because people are telling you to do it. And you're gonna be miserable just because you're doing that shit. So no matter what, you're gonna have to do something that you don't like. Whatever you say, you're doing something in the side, like a project, but then it's not making any money, so you gotta make money another way, whatever it is, like labor work or whatever, and you don't like it, but that's the only way you gotta live through, I guess, until whatever you do like to do, it makes you money, or at least, yeah. You just gotta be, I guess you kind of have to be patient with that too. It's kind of hard. It's a hard world out there.
well, what if when you're playing, when you're playing out there and having fun, other people are working on their film, other people are, grinding, so to speak.
Well, you gotta be grinding for sure. That's part of it too, like working on the projects, making money and all that. But yeah, it depends how bad you want it, and how much you're working for it.
Yeah.
Because there's those people who are working for it really hard, and so the ones who are just like they're kind of cruising a little bit. They're not going at a faster pace than the other people are, you know. So yeah, it's just how bad you want it, how fast do you want it, when do you want it, when do you want that to happen.
Wise words.
Wise words from Pulparindo. Brought to you by Pulparindo. Brought to you.
Armando.
Pulparindo Armando. The nickname.
Those are 3 very good questions, right? How hard do you want it? When do you want it? What was the other one?
I don't know how fast you want it.
How fast you want it?
How fast you want it. Yeah.
Also, why do you want it?
Well, why do you want it? Yeah, why do you want it? Basically. You want it to make your mom happy? Do you want to make yourself happy? You want to make everybody around you happy, maybe?
I think I would
Make everybody proud.
It would always, I think, a meaningful life personally would make me happy and those around me happy. And if I was a crazy motherfucker, and I was self-conscious, and I did it for others, and I did it for pleasing my peers and my potential audience, and I was always worrying about that, and that was my only driving factor. I would burn out. I would maybe make really good shit, but I would make those around me miserable, and probably would uh, destroy my health, you know. So there's a bad way of doing things. There's also a better way of doing things, you know. Like I feel like a lot of filmmakers back in the day took that route of the crazy guy, just working like mad, but not working strategically and intelligently, because a lot of those guys didn't go to school. A lot of those guys just want to implement their ideas. They're making it because they're stubborn, and stubbornness can go a long way. But imagine year after year drinking and not sleeping, and like even not sleeping can deteriorate your creativity, sap you of your strength, your health. So I'm not saying be a crazy motherfucker, but man, I kind of see it as like like the UFC fighters, and how like they take so good care of their body, like George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
They go to cryotherapy. They fucking get the best massages in the world by world class machines, whatever. Take your vitamins.
You gotta take care of your body before.
And then they beat ass in the octagon. They don't just hard spar all day.
You can't be overtraining.
Yeah.
Overtraining will lead you to like. You'll be too tired to fight. You'll be tired to fight. You won't be mentally there when you're fighting. You did all that work for basically nothing because you overtrain. You work like a fucking horse, but you didn't take time to actually let your body heal, let your mind heal.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're working on a film.
That being said,
it's called Butter Watch Out. We're gonna release the trailer soon, and it's something I care very deeply about, and I want to make that shit good. Would you say it's gonna be our debut on YouTube?
Initially I was thinking that, but we should probably even just post the things that we did in the past. Might as well for our YouTube channel.
We could.
Because it will take a while before, we finish this Butter Watch Out. So I'm like, maybe we just post things up for now. Let them know what we worked on before, and then this could be our, the official film that really cements our channel, I guess.
Yeah. I want this to, give us a small presence on YouTube. The thing is, follow our YouTube channel, right?
We don't have it.
Los Primal Primos.
We don't have anything up right now.
We don't have anything up, but maybe at this time we will. And we want to put our podcast shit up, so yeah. Listen to our podcast bits.
Put little snippets of the podcast in the YouTube channel, and there'll be a link to it on the SoundCloud.
Yeah, we're just...
There'll be a lot of different stuff.
We have a lot of short films coming, behind the scenes, so, let a new team, let a new channel help us out.
I don't know if I got that one. I thought you were like, let a new channel rise or have a spot.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, have its time. Let our channel have our time.
Yeah.
It's our time.
Yeah.
Come on,
how much you want it, Armando?
Each one has his time.
Let me ask you right now, your question. How much you want it?
I want it bad.
You want it bad?
I wanna make it good. I want people to know us. That's what.
When do you want it?
Now. We want now as soon as possible. That's when we fucking want it.
Give us a month or a year, or.
We give them a month or us? What you talking me?
Are we talking to? I'm talking to you.
Oh damn. We had to do it between. It can't be later than the summer. I don't want to be passing the summer, and we don't. But we should be able to do it before the summer. Everything.
You're talking about the film?
Yeah, the film.
What about the YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel? Like, what do you want?
When are we gonna establish our presence?
Oh, with the YouTube channel. That hopefully, I want it to be by the end of the year.
End of the year?
We should at least establish it. Like people will hear about it.
Let's do it by the end of the year.
We have to.
Wiggle on it.
By the end of the year, we have to. That'll be kind of like the New Year resolution, or end of the year resolution for sure. Cause I didn't meet you until last. It was last year, but it was the end of last year. Yeah. So I don't know. Your goals were different last year than this year for sure, right? I'm guessing.
My goal is the same.
They were the same. Okay, they were the same. Okay. No, because I guess I had different ones last year, and then this year it's way different. Everything changed.
I just didn't know how I was gonna do it, but
mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, I always wanted to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to make a YouTube channel. And then I was gonna do those two things first somehow, and then figure out the filming stuff, the the cinema stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can see it all possible.
It also takes time to like you also don't want to rush into it because then
it takes being smart.
You don't want to rush into it because it's a big game you're going into. You gotta strategically just go into it, kind of slowly pace, or you kind of move at a fast pace, but also be smart about it. Why are you moving fast, or why are you moving fast this way? You know, it doesn't. It's a whole different ball game from other areas, or say like the fine arts or whatever is a different ball game. There's a lot into it that we don't know, that we're still learning. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, we have a question. From one of our subscribers.
One of our listeners, yeah.
They say, let me see.
What did they say? Let's see, pull it up. What does it say? Oh,
it says,
what's the username?
Please don't say my name. Oh, okay.
They said, please don't say my name. I think they already said. Oh, they put.
Whatever.
We'll say their name. What's their name? What does it say? It says Donkey Dick 415. Oh shit, Donkey Dick 415 right here.
I don't know how he got that name because it sounds pretty OG.
Pretty OG name, Donkey Dick.
But Donkey Dick 415 it says, do you like chicken in your pizza? I've always loved chicken in my pizza, but my friends nowadays have convinced me that the chicken on pizza is dry, and it had me rethinking and establishing my place in the pizza world. What are your thoughts, Los Primal Primos?
First of all, don't listen to them. If you like what you like, shit, they're making it for a reason. They have chicken pizza everywhere. They're making it for a reason because other people like it. If your friends don't like it, then that's on them. But, I mean, it could be dry, for sure, chicken on pizza, because chicken is kind of... It depends how you cook it, I guess, too, the chicken, but...
I say
but it's
that cheap pizza, and it also depends on the combination of your pizza.
What else are you putting with that chicken? Is it just chicken with pepperoni, or is it without the pepperoni just chicken? It depends also. If you're adding maybe some Hawaiian, some pizza or some pineapple to it. If you're adding some
maybe
bell peppers, I don't know what you're adding to it. That's the thing.
Maybe you had 3 different choices, and you were trying to convince your friend, and you used the third best option because you wanted him to wait for the first best option, but you fucked it up. You got him eating the shitty chicken one, and now he's not open to chicken pizza.
Oh, shit.
Just shoot him with the best one.
This what happened to you recently?
I don't know. My friends don't like chicken pizza. So.
Well, I know you were trying to get me to eat chicken pizza.
I
mean, I like it, but I was just...
That's
what we ate. This motherfucker offered chicken pizza later in the night. But before that, earlier in the day, we ate chicken. You must eat chicken pizza, motherfucker. How much chicken can you eat the whole day?
Hey man,
But I don't mind.
If you ask me, really, if you're a chicken guy or a beef guy, I think I would say chicken.
I would say chicken too.
Because
chicken's really
I don't know. I could eat chicken every single motherfucking day.
Every single hour of the day.
Beef though, or like steak, I don't know.
I can't eat it all day. Yeah, I can't eat it for sure. I can't eat it.
I don't know about you.
But I guess, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll eat it again. But like throughout the day, I'll eat chicken.
I have it on this page. Okay, we're at the end of the list. You want to talk about your dreams? Because I thought your dream, the dream you told me the other day was so profound, so philosophical.
I need a dream journal.
You know, it's like Nietzsche level.
Nietzsche level.
Yeah.
Well, when did I dream this? Was it the day that I told you? What day was that? Was it a Monday?
2 days ago.
So Monday?
It
was a Sunday that I dreamed.
Listen, it's the end of this month, and you know we're going through the month. This was the most recent interesting thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Pull that sucker up.
Pull that sucker up. The dream. Okay, restart the dream. It was a weird dream for sure. It started out very sexual, as usual, as my dreams are, and very real, very how you say it? Starts off with me sitting in the room, and there's these 2 other black chicks in the room, and they're looking very scrumptious.
Scrumptious black girl.
One of them was actually, I think, an actress. I forgot her name, but she's a black actress.
They be shaving their legs so good. Why their feet is white.
But the one who wasn't the actress, she went to this other guy.
The rest of them dark chocolate. So dark. So
Motherfucker.
Sorry.
Throw me off. Like, hold on, think about chocolate now. But yeah, this actress, I was talking to this actress, this black actress in this dream. And I think she was, what I say, she was giving out blowjobs, or she was giving blowjobs to guys. And she eventually took this guy that was next to me. He took him to this room or whatever. And I'm like, wait, I want a blowjob too. Let me fucking go too. Let me go follow. And it was hard to find them. Eventually, I found them. They were in the closet. I went inside too, and then she was just done giving him a blowjob. I'm like, wait, so you just finished giving him a blowjob. Can you give me my blowjob? And she just went to town. She just literally went to town. I was like, it felt so real in the dream. It just felt so like surreal, but also very real. And
the brain produces chemicals.
Chemicals. And but later on in the dream, I was in the dreams. You know, you go from place to place. You move from place to place. You're not in one place. And you don't know why you switch from one place to another. You like teleport from one place to another. So it's weird. But in this place where I teleported to, I was in a museum. I was in this art gallery opening, I guess. And I was walking around looking at art, and I saw one of my friends. And her artwork, she had artwork up. She doesn't even do any art, actually.
Listen closely. This is the most profound dream I have heard in a long, long, long time.
Long time. Well, yeah, she had her artwork up. It was It was a sculpture, kind of in the like a sculpture hanging up in the wall. And I'm like, oh, okay. I never knew she does sculpting or whatever like that. It was a friend of mine's, and I went up to her. I was talking to her, and we were both talking about the artwork, and there was a bunch of other people too there talking about the work. They were looking at it, and I guess one of her friends, kind of distracted her, so she looked away. While she was looking away, I kind of grabbed the sculpture and I started to make love to it. I started fucking it. But the sculpture was basically the torso of this girl, of my friend. It was her body, basically.
You should have started by saying that.
Maybe. Yeah. But it was basically her body. As hanging up in the...
No head, no arms, no legs?
No legs. It was only from the neck down to, I guess, the bottom pelvis area or whatever. And it was just hanging up on the wall like an artwork piece. And I took it down from the wall and I started fucking it. And I felt real. I felt like I was really fucking her, my friend. It was basically her body up showing and this being displayed.
Did it look like a marble piece or?
No, it looked like flesh, kind of. It kind of looked like a marble, but you could tell it was like flesh. So I took it down from the wall and I started just thrusting it. It slipped in so easily. Once I took it down from the wall, it went down to my dick, and I was naked this whole time too. So I started fucking it. And she looks back and notices, and she has her mouth open, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, I didn't tell her anything. I'm fucking it. I'm just like going to town.
You were still doing it.
Yeah.
You're looking into.
I'm looking at her
her
while I'm still fucking it.
Ooh.
And it's her art piece. It's her body basically being displayed as an artwork. And she was just like surprised, like, "Oh my god, why are you fucking it?" And I was like, I didn't say anything to her. I was just still fucking her and looking at her into her eyes. Just fucking the sculptor, I think.
Did you come in a sculpture?
I don't know if it did. I might have. And that's when I woke up.
That's when you woke up?
I think so.
Did you wake up with the load in your pants?
No. It was like there was a little bit of cum, but it wasn't like a full load. It was just like a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it was because I was getting hot that dream.
But it felt real.
Yeah.
Shit. So I have a couple of questions for you.
From that dream?
Yeah. Or, I don't even know if they're questions. Let me tell you. So, I find this really fascinating. I was laughing my ass off when you told me this dream. Because it's so fucking hilarious. Okay, let me hit you with it. Okay. Wow. So, in a dream, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever I want to do.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have fucked your friend, but instead, you or your brain chose to create
this sculpture.
Her body.
Yeah, her body hanging up in the wall.
And you decided to fuck a sculpture of her body instead of her herself.
Yeah.
Now, in a dream, you could do what the fuck you want. It's if you fucked her, like her herself. Let's give her a name, Ivy. If you fucked Ivy in your dream, it wouldn't be rapey. It's just a dream. But you decided to create this physical symbol of her, where it's almost rude because you're just fucking her body with no consequence. But it's also polite because you didn't choose to grab her and fuck her with force.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, why?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I can't fucking make up my mind. I can't know when it went over.
Like she's physically attractive, you would say.
Yeah, because she has a very petite body, and you could tell it was the body hanging up because it's just like you'll know it's her body. It's very kind of like she's like a white girl, so she could tell it's kind of like white, little freckly her body maybe, and it's very petite, it's very small. So I took it and I'm like, well, she's not looking. She's getting distracted because other people in the gallery. She's talking to them, and I'm like, well, she's not looking. I'm just gonna take it and just put my dick in it real quick. Maybe I was just fucking really horny. I'm like, fuck it, I just came to see the show, but I'm like, fuck, I'm really horny at the same time. I need to fuck something real soon, so I'm gonna fuck your sculpture.
Now her ex is your friend. It's a good friend of yours. Do you think that had anything to do with your choice in creating? I don't know. Do you think that fact alone creates a kind of a barrier in which you aren't allowed to fuck her?
Physically, okay. Maybe, that's why.
Because I wonder why you just didn't fuck her.
Maybe that is the reason. Maybe because I'm good friends with her ex, and I don't want to get involved physically. So maybe I'm getting involved more this emotionally, emotional state, like where I could fuck
You mean you
what she
don't?
created, I guess. I don't know, but
You don't want to get involved emotionally.
or emotionally and
Yeah.
I guess physically, both. Kind
Well,
of.
you are getting
Kinda
involved with her physically, purely physically.
But like the sculpture is not really
Yeah.
her though. Like, so it's kind of weird. Like
It is her, but it's not her.
it's not her. Yeah, I was just saying like.
She doesn't own this body.
Yeah,
but
it
it's
a replica.
yeah.
It's really it felt. I don't know if it feels like her, but it felt real.
Because you don't know how she
She really feels, but
unless you want to confess something else.
maybe it was some other pussy and she put in that sculpture, but it felt like I was fucking her.
Mm. Yeah, that's a fascinating one, and I think you should write that down. You should. That could be a poem or something.
Poem?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of decoding to do in that.
Could be a movie based off of that.
Could be a movie.
So it could be like a psychological thriller type of movie.
Could be, yeah.
Ooh, mysterious movie.
It could just be a short film.
Mm-hmm. It could be kind of like conceptual, like what's this about? Like you don't really know, like what happened towards the end. You're like, oh, and you gotta rewatch it again to really get all these details to think what really happened. Like,
My fear, it's not really fear, but my prediction is that somewhere near in the future, that could exactly happen. You could create a replica with your supercomputer of somebody and just fuck that shit.
you get
hard.
Like you get their Facebook pictures and all that, and from that you can
get a 3D
reel
model
of her, the girl, or whatever,
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah. You
You
create this 3D
fuck
model
out.
and just like, at that time, they'll have the perfect flesh, fake flesh,
Do you think that's scary? Do you think that's...
Oh, yeah. I think that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Like if they have a Jeremy Al, and a girl wants your body, and she
I don't
made
mind.
it. Wow.
Have you ever thought, like, okay, when I was a kid in high school,
Mhm.
everybody's super horny in high school, right?
Even in college, yeah.
And, well, high school is a different level of horny
just
because it's so new.
It's just like,
It's like, I
That
have
is-
this dick that can do anything, right?
it's literally controlling you.
Sometimes you do shit that doesn't make sense.
You put it places where it doesn't also make sense. You're like, oh,
No.
I put it there. Oh, why did I put it there? Okay.
One time I put a dumbbell on my cock.
You did.
To
Why
see
did
if
you do
it
that?
to see if it was strong enough.
It's not strong enough.
I
You
don't
said
know.
it was. You said you lifted it a little bit. I still don't believe that. A dumbbell's fucking heavy compared to the dick.
10 pounds.
The hell to the fuck no. Not even the biggest dick could do that.
But the point is, I don't even know what the point is.
Wait, where were we going with though? Yeah, where were you
The
going?
fucking most realistic sex toy
Okay, the most
you can
realistic.
replicate. I see your dream being a real thing, but at this moment in time, I think it's a symbolic dream. Well, I don't want to create meaning into your dream. I just think it's a really fascinating dream,
Mm-hmm.
and it could mean a multitude of things.
Mm.
You want to know what I dreamed the other day?
What did you dream of?
I dreamed that it's gonna sound gay, but I
Let me turn off the mic real quick.
I think you and Ving was sleeping over.
We were sleeping over. Oh, this is all bad already. This is done.
Okay, and
Alright.
my parents' room,
Mm-hmm. We were
there
sleeping.
was a little hole, like a slit or something, in the wall.
Okay.
And there was this ferocious, huge wolf-looking gazelle. So it was like a wolf with horns.
In the other room?
The other room, but we're all sleeping on this couch.
in the same bed. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We
not
weren't
good.
touching or nothing.
We were definitely touching. This is small. It was not big enough for the three of us.
Well, we wasn't touching like touching. We might have been touching shoulders.
Yeah.
But regardless, we were jacking each other off. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold the fuck up.
No.
Let me turn off the mic real quick.
No. I saw that creature and it was nighttime. And I was like, oh, shit, what is that? Shit?
Were you the the edge of the bed and you saw it? Or who was in the edge
I
of
don't
it? How did
remember,
you
but
see
I
it?
saw it 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you guys, oh shit, no, that thing.
There's a fucking beast in there.
Yeah, we could see it breathing. I'm like, oh, that shit might wake up. We should fucking bounce. I was telling you guys, we should fucking leave this place.
Oh, it was sleep. It was a sleep beast. Mm-hmm.
I think it had white fur, or I forget if it was white or gray. Fuck it. It was a hairy
It matters.
creature.
What color was it?
It was gigantic. It was probably
Mm-hmm.
8 feet long
Mm-hmm.
from ass to head, and probably
From pelvis to
4.5 feet tall from
Mm-hmm.
foot to top of back.
Yeah, big motherfucker. Mm-hmm.
And I told you guys, but you guys wanted to. I left. I started running because I already.
And you
warned,
didn't tell us?
I warned you
were
guys.
But we
warned
were
you guys.
half asleep, weren't we?
Kind of.
So you
So
were
I
whispering while we were fucking.
No,
knocked
yeah, I
out.
started trailing off, trying to be as quiet as possible.
We're over here fucking sleeping like.
And then
little
I
babies.
see, I leave, but then I come back
Mhm.
up because I'm like, oh,
Maybe
it's
I
not
should-
chasing me or anything. So I'm like, what's going on?
Nothing going on.
And I
with
see
that
you guys are trying to fight it.
bitch. I don't know. We're just fucking fighting
I'm
it.
like, you guys are retarded.
Probably Bing started to the shit first. He probably punched the shit out of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
ah, fuck. Now I gotta fight it. I
Yeah.
gotta fucking save Bing.
Yeah. So I pick up one of my wooden sticks that I bought. I'm
This is like a
like-
martial arts movie. What is this?
It is now,
Wow.
and it's pitch black because it's nighttime.
Oh shit.
But it's kind of like that movie blue, that dark blue moon in the night sky kind of blue.
So you can kind of see it. You can see
Yeah.
it. The other day, it was a full moon. I saw the ocean. You could see it clearly. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. It's so beautiful when you see the moon. You shine everything. But anyways, continue.
So I was in this Zen state. I felt like I was Miyamoto Musashi.
Who's Musashi?
He's the most legendary samurai in all of Japan.
Oh, I think you showed me. Yeah.
And so I took that shit, and it was coming after me. I stuck it in its mouth, and I
Dig it in.
slung him
Mhm.
to the left side, and I fucking smacked that motherfucker in the neck. I don't remember where exactly.
You're being violent, weren't you, with the...
But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I was in that jiu-jitsu competition. I was like calm, but I felt the blood like rushing my hands. But I was still had a level head,
Mm-hmm.
crystal clear what I'm about to do next mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I beat the shit out of it.
Out of that big-ass beast that was fucking humongous.
Yes. Now, I don't see that being real life ever. But hey, at least I have a strategy, a false strategy, probably. But you know, actually, it's probably a bad idea because every time you see somebody like stick something in a beast's mouth in the movies, they bite that shit off real easy.
They bite it off. Or they swallow you whole, too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're dead.
It
God.
wasn't that big.
Or you, like, beat it from the inside, so you, like, I don't know where, fucking stab it from the inside, you come out. Hella with all guts and everything, but you kill them from the inside.
Yeah, I had a 5th grader's dream.
You did? You kind of did? But what did you take out of that? What did you take from it? That dream?
I
What
took that if
you can't leave no friends behind, motherfucker. You fucking dipped, but that's fucking really waking us up. And we fought him alone, but then you came back.
I did come back. I saved your asses.
Mm-hmm. How are we doing? How's me and being?
You guys were
handling this
surviving. You
situation?
guys were
We're
fighting it,
barely
but not
sus-
dying.
Oh, okay.
So
We
that
got
was
a few
good.
scratches on us and shit.
Yeah.
So,
But what I take out of that, I think if somebody were to attack my home, I think, you know, I'm more than ready to retaliate as long as they don't have guns.
mm-hmm.
If they have guns, meaning a threat that is more than I can handle, such as a wolf that is 8 feet long, I'm gonna fucking book it. But if I think like, you know, they're near enough, you know, it's a danger that I can't avoid. They don't have any guns, you know. So if it's only one guy, you know, I strategically have already planned out like where my shit is. Where are my knives? Where are my sticks?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what piece of item can I select for that battle?
Like, you got like know your surroundings.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a wolf would just come in out of nowhere in this room.
Also, where's my
Where the fuck?
escape?
Escape routes. That's what I always think
Yeah.
when I'm in school. I'm like, what if there's like a zombie attack out of nowhere while I'm in the middle of class? I always look at my surroundings like, where would I go?
There's been many times
do
in my
that.
dreams actually where I'm at home, but different things are attacking me. So this time was a wolf. I've had shooters come in my house.
I've had shooters before.
I've had robbers
never a
come
wolf,
in.
though, never a big ass.
I had robbers come in and I beat their asses. But with the shooters, I froze. I got scared.
Because of guns.
Yeah. And also, I was thinking of escaping this back door, but sometimes you don't know where the guns are coming from. You know? So you might be walking towards them. So I guess my natural reaction in that dream was to freeze. Guns are fucking scary.
Have you ever gotten stabbed in the dream?
I got my head chopped off.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
And you woke up right away when you got chopped off?
I think so.
That's what usually happens. Whenever I get stabbed in the dream, I'll wake up and go,
I've never waken up from a dream other than that. The fucked up thing is my mom and my dad were running. And I think my dad tried to kick him. It didn't work. He kept running and the motherfucker chopped my head off with the axe.
Oh, shit. Goddamn.
There you
go. Like,
you got me before I sneezed.
I already knew it was coming. Yeah. I had a dream the other day, too. Well, just yesterday, I think. But it was I could barely remember it. Now I'm thinking about it. I remember it was about a black hole. Like, it kept going to this little backyard where I will see a hole and it'll look like it'll expand to like somewhere else. Like, it will go somewhere no one ever will know about. But I eventually went inside of it. And I was stuck there. I was stuck in this place. But I just remember it being a nightmare. But I don't know what specifically happened while I was in this black hole. I was inside this room. I remember there was like shit around the room. There was like little muck everywhere, grimy looking place. But I can't remember anything else in that. Dreams are weird. Like, you only remember like little parts of it, but it's. Yeah, definitely I should have like a dream journal and like write every little detail I can. Cause we forget it once we like wake up. Like I hear like 75% of it. Once we wake up, we forget that shit.
I only remember the conclusions.
You remember the good things. Yeah, the key points are very like
and how it ends.
You
know,
but nothing really in between. It's very hard to get the details in between. That's why. This is crazy.
I remember. I used to know this, but there is people research black holes and they've tried to create it, and certain people believe that black holes can be creating a black hole can be the key to time travel.
Yeah.
I don't know all that.
Supposedly, yeah, that's what they say. Time travel.
I was trying to remember what who was trying to where
they were trying to do that.
Yeah. But
they probably don't want that to happen. Probably the government doesn't want that shit to happen. Time traveling, imagine someone gets a hand of that.
Yeah.
You do a lot of shit time travel. Where would you go if you had a time traveling machine? What would you do with it?
Depends if I can come back. Because if I can't, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't go. Alright, say that you can come back. Would you?
I can.
You can't. And you have the option to go back in time, though. At this stage, in this point in your life. No?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It would suck.
I love my life too much.
Yeah. And then you'll lose your family. Your family will be like, where the fuck did you go to?
Yeah.
But what if you have the option to come back, though?
That's the other thing that scares me. Like,
because there's a butterfly effect.
Well, not only that,
you can change everything.
but is it still me? Like, when you say you enter a black hole or whatever that sucks
portal.
you in, the portal per se, all of your particles and whatever the fucks are being converted and like reappeared somewhere else. So just that idea on its own, and scientists would probably tell me that's not how it works. But how I imagine it is all of your particles are transported and I don't know, like reapplied into another existence.
Time frame that you were never there.
How do I like if I had a conscience, would my conscience still be there?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just my body? Did anything change? Am I still me? Like that would be the part that freaks me out. Yeah, just imagine like.
Also, because your body's already used to the environment that you're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you went to a different environment that was back then. Like, I guess your body's you're used to the environment here. If you go to a different one, your body's gonna be feeling different. You're not gonna. It might be toxic. The air back then. I don't know, something different. The trees. You can't eat the food back then just because more. You're already used to the food now. You know,
I'm not scared of that.
It's kind of like that. Maybe
I don't think that would be a.
Are you scared of that too, or no?
No, I'm just scared that if I disappear and I reappear, like my whole body disappears and my whole body reappears, that I might not be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take that risk.
Do you want to take that risk?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't know. I don't think it's like you walk into a door and you come out the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more like you vanish and all your particles like reappear on the other side. So, I don't know. That's my understanding. But
are you afraid they're going to lose some of those like particles? Like going through that
could lose some of the particles, could lose my consciousness, you know?
So it means like if you go back in time, that you won't even know that you time travel. You're like, oh shit, I'm in this time frame, but you don't know.
It might just be like another
even
Jeremy in that body, like with a different conscious. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that. I can't say that any one of my fears is rooted in science, but that would be a question I would ask if it ever comes to that point. Am I the same person when leaving this time period?
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't be that afraid of that. I'll be more afraid of just changing shit, like the butterfly effect. Maybe like you change something that, like the back then, and then you in the future you don't become yourself. You lose what you were. Like if you like, it's a hard one because you like. What if your parents never met? Like what if like that? What if you change that? So you're never born. So you're never born in the future.
I was trying to figure out a way where you could minimize the butterfly effect. Like say, in the future, realistically, time travel will be only for rich people. Let's say, like you need to generate like for like any big piece of technology you have to pay a lot for, right?
Yeah. What if they're doing it right now? That's what's crazy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So let's just say whatever. Let's say right now you need to be rich as fuck. You need to have connections, right? And so they have this machine and they give you these rules because, the butterfly effect and all these things. So the rule would so if you have that kind of technology, you probably have other kinds of technology, as I'm going to assume. So if you can time travel.
Regeneration, probably.
Or maybe invisibility, perhaps.
Maybe. Hopefully, yeah.
I don't know. But so let's give it, for the sake of fun.
Maybe there is
invisibility. Say there is invisibility. So you say you have to go with the host, kind of like skydiving, right? You can't go by yourself and shit. It's dangerous. So you're time traveling with an authority, with somebody who knows what they're doing, someone who's trained. And so you guys are both invisible, and you're allowed to move within a different time, but you're not allowed to touch things. You're only allowed to walk a certain route. Now, I think that if it comes to this point where the average human is allowed to time travel, then they've already figured it out. they've already figured out the routes.
Like where they're gonna walk to,
Yeah.
so you know where to avoid the places they're gonna
Right.
walk to or interact with stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can engage with everything visually, you know. You can smell, you can see, but you're just not allowed to touch things. Maybe you have to wear a certain kind of glove, whatever.
Mhm.
Or maybe there's like some sort of a pod that you
Mhm.
that you know you move from place to place with. I don't know.
Mhm.
So you really can't touch things.
Mhm.
Who knows? I mean, I think there has to be a system in place before regular consumers are even allowed to
do that.
Time travel.
Cause there's gonna be some dumb motherfuckers who are gonna
Exactly.
do something.
Exactly.
For sure. It will be fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like thinking now. I'm like, what if we released the podcast backwards? Like, with random.
If
we released like Star Wars and shit.
we release
I'm
it,
thinking hella sci-fi right now.
oh shit. I was thinking like ghosts. What if ghosts are actually people from the future, who have invisibility and they knock shit down accidentally? Like, oh fuck, and they do it only during the night too.
That's
Sometimes
pretty funny.
I'm like, that'd be kind of funny. We think maybe ghosts are just people from the future. They fucking have powers.
Yeah.
It's like shit. What you think?
Or what if
These
UFOs are just
What do you think? UFO?
pieces of technology from?
What if they're just like?
What if they're
fucking
just AI
what
from
if they're
other
just-
planets? You know.
food delivery? They're just a plate. They're traveling across the galaxy and giving it to different people.
Maybe maybe
Delivering
the UFO.
pizza. Maybe it's just
yeah,
pizza flying in the future.
maybe the UFO is just Uber. They just want some human food, and they're just like,
They go everywhere, but
yeah,
no
we
really
hella
bad.
love chicken pizza.
I don't know about that, but
Nah?
you said that.
Nah?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's good. We need a poll, right,
What's the
listeners?
415 what?
Let's see. It said Donkey Dick 415.
Donkey Dick
There we
415.
go.
Give Donkey Dick 415 some love.
Give him some love.
You know.
Let him follow him at Donkey Dick 415 at Instagram, Twitter, those handles right there.
All right.
You know.
I think that's the end of
You
that
think that
list.
concludes it?
I think that concludes it.
Hold up. Let's see what. Let me see what she does.
DB. Yeah, that's the end of that list. Thank you guys for listening so much. This is
That's the end of
Primal
it?
Primos.
No, that's not the end of it.
It's the end of it, man.
I feel like we're gonna miss something and we're gonna
Hey,
come back
I
to
mean that's why we have more podcasts. That's why this isn't our last
It's
podcast.
never gonna end. It's gonna be 24-hour podcast. Imagine they had a 24-hour podcast. People just talk freaking.
That's Twitter.
Well, a single person, or at least a couple of people like who
Yeah.
do.
Oh, let us know if we should have guests. I kind of like the idea that if we have guests, that it don't be too often. But
We are gonna have a guest soon, though. Should
Are
we?
we?
Should we? Well, it'll be.
are we gonna have a guest? Is it official?
We haven't got a hold of him, but he wanted to be part of it. It'd be a surprise guest.
Now,
Special guest.
I'm always want to be strategic about our choices, like, and I want to be different, and I like being different and unique, but also quality different. And you know, Joe Rogan does guests, and his guests are almost always an expert in one field.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't always have to be that way. I just want to trying to see what that primal primos oomph is. You know, that flavor.
Who we need.
Like why?
We probably for sure need some.
Why?
Need some wild fuckers up in here
Yeah.
for sure.
But
sometimes
yeah.
we need some calm people to give us insight about what they know, what they experience.
Maybe I'll get that drunk lady on the podcast. Who knows?
Oh my god! But maybe she's not as like funny or smart. Or
Hey.
she's sober, so we
She
need her
might
drunk.
be.
We're gonna have to give her tequila shots in the podcast beforehand, and then we can put it on there.
What if she's like, I just came from my AA meeting. I can't be doing that shit.
Never mind. Get the fuck out of here. We want you drunk as fuck right now.
We already have drinks laid out.
Like what? What do you mean? There's like shots I'm already pouring. They're like what? From your AA? Fuck that. Here's a shot.
You want to conclude this episode?
Concluded by thank you to our sponsors, SFSU, represent. Pulperino, thank you that. Pizza Coco, thank you for sponsoring us. But stay beautiful, stay young, stay reckless.
Perfect timing. My dad just came home.
Oh, did you really? Oh, dang. I don't see anybody. But, alright, stay beautiful, guys. Until next time. Later. Wait, still recording? Not later.
Well, hopefully, it's still recording.
What if it's not? No, it is. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Later.